Hey, good afternoon. This is Brian Johnson, and it is that time, which is Tuesday night training. And as always, I have something special for you. And as always, I'm super grateful to be able to share with you and to invest our time together. So let's talk about what we're actually going to talk about tonight. So tonight I'm going to talk about the 5 tips to help you rock the best summer body that you have ever had. I know, it's such a bold statement, and that's okay. And the tools I'm going to share with you is stuff that you can use year-round. It's stuff that I found working with over 60,000 people or 60,000 case studies. These are things that I have developed and have come to find out what works, what doesn't, how to make it work for you, and ultimately understand that there is no one human body on the planet that is exactly the same. So being able to understand why your body is doing certain things and why it's not doing certain things is extremely valuable information, because I can just tell you from my own experience over the last 3 years, I literally have had one of my goals to get back down to 6% body fat, 5 or 6% when I did my show back in 2009, and it has not happened. It has been really interesting. So I'm going to share with you the things that I went through tonight, what didn't work. I'm going to share with you the things that I'm doing now and things that I found to work. And these are things that no matter where you're at on your journey, these are things that you can implement and integrate in your life. And ultimately, it's about just starting where you're at. Once you start where you're at, you can check your data, measure your body fat, get some results, and then make some adjustments. But if you don't start, you're never going to get anywhere. So tonight it's all about starting and giving yourself permission to fail forward. So if is this your first time on my call, just type a yes. I see a lot of my regular fans, people I get to connect with and share with. I appreciate you, Gary LeBro. I have my computer open so that I can read your comments and make sure that I get your questions answered. So if you have not connected with me before, make sure you connect with me on thinkgreatloseweight.com. Hop on our email list so you can get the replays and you can get the other information or get the other information that I send out to our family members. So yeah, that's the best place you can connect with me. Make sure you connect with me on my personal Facebook page, my public page as well. My personal page is full. So if you're looking to connect with me, make sure you go to my public page and make sure you connect with me there. So without further ado, allow me to share a couple of things with you about myself as to why you may be inclined to listen to what I have to share with you tonight and to see how it applies to you in your life and on your journey. So currently I'm 38 years young. I started in the health and wellness space when I was 7 years old. So this is what I've done the entire time that I've been on the planet since age 7. This is what I know, love, and it's just what I get to geek out on. And when I say geek out, I have a lot of hours invested by myself and with coaches and being a student and classes and certifications and all that fun stuff. And, interesting. Some of the most potent information that I have learned, I'm going to share with you tonight, and it wasn't really in any of the major institutes that you think you would learn something like that from. It wasn't in Baylor Sports Medicine. It wasn't in National Academy of Sports Medicine. It wasn't in any of the 7 certifications and curriculum I've taken through them. It wasn't through any of what I learned from Institute of Integrated Nutrition. None of that. I learned it from completely different places. So tonight I'm going to share with you the best of the best. And I took 5 points to get it all down for you tonight. So let's go ahead and get into content, right? So number 1, the first thing about getting the best summer body ever is all about controlling your hormones. I'm going to say that again. If your hormones are off, you're going to have a challenge. If you haven't had your blood work checked, get your blood work checked. Check your testosterone levels, check your estrogen, check your progesterone, check all of that stuff. Because if it's off, you're going to feel a difference. And there's ways to thank God we live in a day and age nowadays where you can totally make some adjustments and go see a doctor and get back on top. And trust me, your hormones and your vitality is what the Chinese use to determine how healthy you are. Like if you still think about having sex, if you still have your testosterone levels and you still feel in that vitality, that's how the Asian communities and cultures rate your health and your vitality and your vigor. So it's important that you still feel young. You could still be 70 or 80 and still have very good optimal hormone levels where you feel amazing. and your body will still promote lean muscle tissue. It'll still burn body fat, and you'll still feel nice and young and nice and youthful, and that is important. The other hormone that I'm talking about specifically is insulin. So for me, I'll speak on this because I know about me. I have been 250 pounds 3 times. A lot of you already know this. And in order to drop body fat, if you're having a challenge, having your insulin levels as low as possible, meaning eliminating your sugars, eliminating simple sugars out of your diet, things like that are vastly important to help to get your body to where you're actually able to burn body fat faster. So if you have insulin spikes, if you have fruits, if you have sugars, if you have white breads, if you have pastas, if you have bread, if you have rice, if you have higher glycemic foods, your insulin levels will be higher. Therefore, your ability to burn body fat is definitely going to be impaired. And that's obviously not what you're really wanting. Have some water. You can go to a regular MD, or you can go to one of those little stores around the corner nowadays where they draw your blood for half the price, so your insurance doesn't get charged $1,000. So we'll talk a little bit about gaining weight too. So carb intolerance. A lot of people on the planet nowadays have carb intolerances. Their bodies are extremely sensitive to them. And their bodies are slow enough to where if they have some carbohydrates, their body blows up. Like mine blows up like a toad. Like I can have a pretty significant amount of carbs and my body will blow up pretty differently than most people. So a lot of carbs for me is about 150 grams a day. That's about all I really require to be successful, okay? So let's talk about some foods specifically. These are foods that you can eat that will help to balance out your blood sugar levels, that will help to help to